Hello, everybody. I think I'm live. Hello. Happy Saturday to you. Happy weekend. Hope you guys are having amazing moments, aware of the amazing moments that you're having, right? Because every moment is amazing, even if we're not aware of it. So it's all about awareness today, I feel. So, welcome, all my Zen friends. So happy to have you here. And before we get into everything, let us bring in this beautiful love energy. Come back to this moment. We'll do that by taking a big deep breath in, holding it for as long as you feel comfortable, and then slow exhale. That brings us back to this moment right here, not in the past, not in the future, not out in the outside world and all the chaos and all those fear rides that can pull us. We're coming back to this moment. And then I'll hit the singing bowl 3 times as we do. And as we do that, you can just imagine this energy, this bright light starting in the center of who you are and just growing bigger and bigger and bigger, filling up your thoughts and your beliefs and your stories, your heart and all your emotions, your energetic, I guess, your meridians, your chakras, your auras, into all the cells and organs and blood and everything of your physical body, and then flows out to the outside world, allowing it to do what it wants to do out there to help raise the vibration of the planet. And as we say, something we can do in this moment to help us raise our own vibration is gratitude. Just one thinking of one tiny little thing, even if it's just I'm grateful for internet or that the sun burns and keeps us alive and or whatever it may be. It could just, the smallest little thing or the biggest thing, what we're grateful for. Just one thing right in here, right now in this moment, just one thing. and or something we're grateful for in the past. Just one little thing focusing right now on this gratitude immediately begins to raise our vibration. It opens us up to this receiving energy where it's like the tunnel is opened up and we get messages from spirit, but we also uh, become like magnetized to where we can receive more of what we're grateful for. It just attracts it for us instead of focusing on lack and the supposed to be's and need and want and our fears. We draw in all that. We're very powerful. So blah blah blah, let's get started. So if you'd like to join me, we're going to start off taking a big deep breath in, hold it for as long as you feel comfortable, don't pass out, don't hurt yourself, and we will then come back into the now, and then we'll go into the singing bowl, right? So let's begin. Big deep breath in. Beautiful. Right. I'm not sure how loud the singing bowl will be. It always changes per session, per moment. So gird your ears and be prepared. And remember gratitude. Here we go. Hmm. Beautiful, beautiful. Thank you so much for joining me and doing that. Bringing that beautiful, beautiful energy. Woof, woof, woof. All right. We'll put her back on her shelf. Let her watch over us as we do readings. There we go. So, hello. We also have little Lord Ganesh is visiting us today. He often does. Get the little wooden Ganesh. That was a gift from a dear friend of mine. So they'll be over here on the cards, removing the obstacles and bringing in wonderful energy for us. So I like it. So welcome, 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 Zen friends. So happy to have you here. If you're new to my channel or new to these readings, welcome. We've got a great group of Zen friends with huge hearts and great senses of humor. Definitely two things that are so helpful in this journey and this adventure as humans. So welcome. There's always room for more Zen friends. Thank you guys all for the thumbs up already. It does help spread the Zen love. You're part of the love tsunami, and so some a way that you can give the channel a little love, give a little love my direction. I'm so grateful for that. It's free, which is the perfect price, right? So thank you guys so much for those of you that are doing that. If you are new to the channel, a whole process is all listed down in the description box of the video. So if you need to reference anything, but free readings are first come, first serve. Generally, 1 to 2 card readings for those. If anyone makes a donation, I do honor that energy exchange. I step out of the free readings and dive deeper, meaning I pull more cards for those as well. And you also get a little fortune cookie, little oracle card. Today, we're using the Cosmic Energy Oracle. So you get one of those with the your reading as well. I don't have any set dollar amount, so whatever you give from your heart is the perfect amount. You can use the super chat at the bottom or in the description box of the video. I do have my Venmo, my Cash App, my PayPal, and Square. So all of those are available. Whatever you're and however you want to give is up to you. Um, my sessions are usually 3 hours, if not more. But if 2.5 hours in, I have not hit any free readings yet, I will step out of donations and complete about 30 minutes of free readings. So we do have free readings that I get to every session. Sundays are different. Whatever I don't finish in the morning, I always come back and finish out everything in the afternoons. But that's kind of how it works here. After I finish each session, I do put a pinned comment listing all the readings with timestamps that I completed. So if you need to post your reading and go live life, I get it. If you come back, you can look at that pinned comment and find your timestamp and find your reading right away. And it just click on it, takes you right to it. I think that's the main skinny of most of the things. Just want to make sure everyone knows we do have a giveaway uh, for the rest of the year. Every new moon and full moon, I give away a 30-minute personal recorded reading. So if you haven't seen that, this is the link to see how to get into that drawing. And if you're wondering who won last time, we did a winner's announcement. I did it separate. I also listed everybody that won. Whoops, error. Try it again. Some reason it didn't do it. Let's try it. Let's try it now. No, it's why is it airing out? I'm not sure why this is airing. Maybe I have something here that's not acceptable. Let me try doing something here. I worked last night. What's the dealio? We're heading into Mercury retrograde. All right, there it went. Third time's a charm. But those are the winning the winners of the full moon, and then also I think it was 12 15-minute personal recorded readings I gave away over Halloween weekend. I'm going to do that again too on Thanksgiving and Christmas weekends is my plan at this point, because it was fun. I love giving things away. So be on the lookout for that as well. What else? What else? What else? We did that. We did that. We talked about that. Oh, and then all my services are on sale for the rest of the year. All of my personal readings, my live virtual ones, and then my personal recorded readings, and my hedges of peace and love. And all that information's down in the description box too. All the stuff I've been talking about. If you need to reference it, it's always there. But I like to make sure you guys know all the specials and giveaways and everything that's going on. And then speaking of that, also I have a podcast series I started back up, which is The Easier Path. We are on Adventure 3. Adventure 4 is coming next week. Already have it all set to go out. So I'm excited. These talk about my own story time with Bretta Zen, about things I've gone through, and then spirits and human perspective of why do humans do what they do, and then spirits perspective of what we can learn and go through it, and then spirits hints on how we can convert things from a harder path to an easier path. That's the whole purpose. Not that life is an easy path, but we can make it easier. So that's the whole um, kind of purpose behind that podcast series, is to make this human life a little more fun. All right. So that's all the skinny and all the stuff there. I just want to make sure everyone knows that what's out there. So thank you guys again so much. Let me get my little donation list all created here. And I am Ganesh Homer Simpson. Trampzilla. You're so funny. I see your you guys crack me up. Laughing is so important, right? So important. All right, so let me grab these and we'll do some shout outs and we'll get into the readings here. Thank you guys again so much for being here. I'm so grateful to be on this journey with you. We will be using the triple deck of Light Seers Tarot. I had purchased one of these a long time ago for myself. Really loved the deck. And then a friend a couple of years ago gifted me one because one of the cards is slightly bent. I still use it. You'll see it every once in a while pop up. But they gifted one to me, and I'm like, "Oh my gosh, this is great!" So um, I join them together in one huge deck, and so you'll see doubles. And then my host, she's recovering from back surgery, so she's in her shopping boredom mode where she was like, "I saw these and I thought of you and I wanted to give them to you." And I'm like, "Well, great. Now I have 3." So I've got 3 sisters because I have 3 of the boxes that look like this. I won't try to hold them up, but I feel like they're the 3 sisters of fate. So we've got 3 decks. You have a chance of getting 3 cards that are the same, which is pretty cool. So I like it. All right, Apu's wedding episode. That's funny. You had to get your daily coffee. You're so funny. All right. So let's do some shout outs. So, of course, hey, Trampzilla, uh, Homer Simpson, Ganesh. Good to see you and enjoy your coffee. Cheers to you. I have my coffee here. I'd rather have you caffeinated and everyone safe than you without caffeine. I get it. And then we have Ankita Moore. Hello, Ankita. Good to see you. And Rocky's World. Hello, hello. And we got Jojo in the house. Good to see you, Johanna. And then we had earlier Patricia and Ashish. Good to see you guys. Toucho Love and Minu, also known as Last Chapter. I know the at screen names. I wish they would change them back, but I'm just grateful for YouTube, right? And then we have Ateshi Singh. Good to see you as well. And Swaroop Bobby. Swaroop, I thought I saw your name last night, and I can't remember if if I dreamt this. But if I missed you last night, my apologies. Because for some reason, I remembered seeing your name, but I don't remember doing a reading. But although I do a lot of readings too, so if I missed you, my apologies. And then Moncloa as well. So good to see you guys. Thank you guys again for being here. And I'm excited to see what messages come through from Spirit today. So, and Maria P came into the house. Hello, Maria. Your neighborhood coffee. That's good. You're also supporting your your neighborhood, so I like that. All right. So for donations, we will start off with JoJo, and then Rocky's World, and then Trampzilla, and then Enki Tamor. That's where we're at right now on donations. So we will get into it and see what we got going on here. So, JoJo, let's grab your timestamp, and you will be up first here. So thank you so much for your donation. We'll give that a love and a like here. And you said you met him. Oh, how perfect. So you went to the festival and you got to meet them. Interesting. And I'm sure, yeah, your question is around that. So we'll dive in here and see what their impressions of you were. And you think he was overwhelmed, maybe. Well, maybe you were a little overwhelmed too, right? Mirrors, mirrors everywhere. But let's take a look here. Hey, you took a pic too. He looks like he wants to eat me. Well, you have my email address, if you want to send it to me, you don't have to. Or if you put it on your Instagram, I'll check it there too. But or you can message me on Instagram if you want. Of course, whatever is if you want. There's no pressure at all. But that would be funny. On the Insta? Okay. Too fun. All right, let's take a look here and we'll dive into what was their impression of you besides stirring up their hunger. All right, yeah. I like this. 1, 2, 2, 1. There definitely was mirroring going on here, but we'll see what's going on below the surface here too. All right. Yeah. All right. Sorry. I was just looking at the bottom of the deck was the Ace of Wands, which is fire, passion, energy, and I think we even mentioned that last night, right? That there's this bright light, and you just shine bright, and it does attract people to you. So maybe that was a foreshadowing when I was in my confusion with all of that last night. But I like this. I like this fiery brightness, and this is like what they see. There's this third eye bright light that's just shining here. And I feel here like the left side is them and the right side is you, but definitely mirror. One card, two cards, two cards, one card, two cards underneath, two cards underneath. This beautiful mirror energy. So let's see what their first impression. Yeah, we had the Five of Pentacles here. It's like you approached a little shy almost. The Five of Pentacles, it's like you didn't go, "Ta-da, here I am." You kind of like it was like, you know, almost a feeling like their impression was, "What why you being so small? Come here." Kind of energy. Um, they're like because they could feel your energy and go, "Why are you pretending that you're" yeah, you were shy. "Why are you pretending that you are shy? Because 'Cause you're not. Why are you doing this?" Right? Which is funny. Underneath the surface, yeah, the 2 of Cups. They did feel this instant bond here. Um, and it was like this energy was drawing you guys to one another, it feels like with that, and they're like, "What are you doing? Get over here." Kind of this energy of this your actions aren't matching your energy was I feel like their impression here. What else here for you? Yeah, Ace of Pentacle. Oh, these aces. Yeah, there was this unique. I mean, you have the Ace of Wands on the bottom. You have these other two aces of the mind and of the physical world here too. And it feels like they were say inspired would be probably too big of a expression of it, but it's like an they were like intrigued and inspired just with the energy. They're going, what is this? Get over here kind of energy. And it's interesting, all these aces, because it's like there's this newness, this new energy that was around them that they kind of felt, I don't know, like off kill, like a fish out of water. And you even said something like that they were might have felt a bit overwhelmed, or and I feel like there was this their energy was in this place too. So it was this perfect, kind of um energy coming in. Below the surface, yeah, there's all this newness energy. This full card here, the full card is also past life energies. So I feel like there's that recognition that, um, came in, right? And, when we talk about, the groups and those individuals, we talked about that they're part of that group, right? Of this acting troupe from lifetimes to lifetimes that you guys interact with each other and are involved with each other. Well, I feel like they sense that and they're like, "Whoa, what's this?" And I don't feel like they've come across one of you in this lifetime, and that's why it was like, "Wait a minute," they keep on bringing up, what is this? Mortal Kombat? "Get over here!" You know how they have this claw that grabs someone and draws them, but then they punch them, but not in this case. It's like there was this draw that was coming in here. So they were just like, this is weird, different, kind of energy. Not you, even though you're weird, like in a good way, coming from Aquarius. We're like, yeah. So there is this energy that's there, and they were like, huh. So that's interesting. Let's see from your standpoint here. Yeah, Hanged Man. Seeing someone from a different perspective, and I feel like you were seeing them differently, and you were seeing yourself differently, and that's the shyness coming in. You were kind of like, "Okay, this is different. What is this that's going on here?" Right? Yeah. Well, it was like I feel like you kinda sensed, like, this is I don't know, have you met any of those in person yet? Any of your acting I'm gonna call it the acting soul troupe. I don't know if you've met any of them in person here, in this realm physically, where it was like, "Whoa." You think you've met one? Was it like that kind of energy? Because this felt very odd, where you were like, "Whoa, this is" the energy felt different for you, and I feel like that's why you were kinda hesitant to, um, to jump into it. Yeah, and then you have the Page of Cups. So the energy was higher. Yeah, and the Eight of Wands. So you definitely felt this kind of energy that was coming in here, right? That's when you actually were up meeting them, then this rush of all this energy came in. Oh, the Hanged Man below the surface, yeah, you got the Page of Cups again, so you got it twice. You felt like this connection, this higher connection, pigs flying up here. So there was this, "Whoa, this is higher, this is different than I'm used to." And below the surface, the Five of Wands, when you met him too, yeah, there's this energy of friendship, and the Five of Wands, this is gonna represent going forward, this is your soul troop of all that energy of putting on a show, because it's drama card, but in this case, it's not drama like drama, but drama. So the Five of Wands will be an indicating card for you guys going forward of this soul troop acting and singing group that hang out with each other through many lifetimes. So I like it. I feel like they were a bit, I just feel like the energy going on in the world right now, we feel like this upgrade anyway. But I feel like both of you were in just a different energy to start off with, which really opened up and made the energy exchange between the two of you stronger. And with this super full moon energy that's wafting around, if that's a good word for it, I love it. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here too. All right. Nope, they don't want any of those. There we go. Oh, yeah. It's songbirds. And love is everywhere. Open your heart to feel it. And it doesn't have to be romantic love, right? Yeah, it is amazing. And you've got but it's definitely two birds of the same, birds of a feather flock together. That's like this message confirming that it's this love vibration, this higher connection of love vibration, which goes beyond romance, but it is like a soul tie um, to that group. So I love that for you. I know it's so perfect. I love that uh, that we knew that was going to happen. So I love it. I can't wait to see the pictures or picture. So I will check that out. So that's what they have for you, my dear. I'm so happy for you. Such an interesting energy. I don't Doesn't necessarily mean that you guys are gonna interact in the future kind of energy, but it was something about meeting in the physical plane just helps bring your dream into reality, and to realize when things are meant for you that they're just gonna happen and you don't have to try to force things. You just go with the flow and you're gonna be bumping into people. Like you bump into, the actress that you really loved, the one of your an actress that was one of your favorites from earlier in your life, and you're just like, wow, I'm just bumping into all these actors and people, and meeting all these people, and a lot of them coming to you in your city and near you, right? So I love it. All right, my dear, I love it, I love it, I love it. So many blessings to you. Excited. I'm done being shy too, right? Yeah, there was like this hesitancy of like, and in that moment, now you're stepping into that truth of yourself, so I like it. Right? So many blessings to you, my dear, my dear. How fun. I love it. All right. We'll continue on here. Thank you, Maria P. I see you got two donations that came in over Z PayPal, so I'll add you to the list here. So up next, we got Rocky's World, and then Trampzilla, and Kita, and then Maria P times two. All right. So Rocky's World. Hello, hello. Let's grab your timestamp here. Got so excited for JoJo. I forgetting my processes here. All right. There we go. And let's give your donation a love and a like since it lets me. You want to know what would Michael J want to say to you or tell you? All right. Michael J in the house. Hey. All right. Let me crunch my cough drop here. All right. And why I saw him entering a stage. It's a small little stage like at a carnival, and he came out of the from the left hand, well, stage left. Well, no, it would be our left. That would be stage right, right? I forget how they do that. But anyway, came out dancing in a striped pants, red and white striped pants, a white shirt, and a black blazer with a what even color was the hat? It was almost like a straw top hat with a cane. But you ever see the little frog from Bugs Bunny is what he's showing me. Um, when this guy found the frog and he was like singing, "Hello, my darling, hello, my baby," like da 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 da. Um, but then when people were around, they were just this frog, reep, reedy, reedy. But when when they were alone, they would, you know, do this thing, this amazing thing. So it's interesting. um, and feel like there's a message in that that I was a different person with you than I was in public, if that makes sense. And that makes sense now that they do that. Because I at first I was like, "What is this? Why are you showing me this?" But something about Bugs Bunny. Saturday morning cat cartoons. All right, what else do they want you to know here? All right, let's see what we got going on. He's always so funny. All right. So, oh, we got 4 here. I thought there were 3 cards, so there's a surprise amongst the last 4 cards too. So, the bottom of the deck, they do have the 5 of swords, which is this energy of conflict between head and heart. I feel like they're recognizing this here, just kind of bringing it up, saying, this conflict that you have, this inner struggle that you have, is rooted in the card underneath it, which is the 10 of swords, which is about all these expectations, the supposed to be, the should be, trying to please other people, and the fear of disappointing and letting people down. And they're like, I know that, I lived that, but you don't need to. You can release yourself from, the flock of seagulls above your head. There's a reference to a song I'm thinking here. And underneath that, we also have the 5 of wands, which is about drama and people around you. So all this conflicting energy that they're just recognizing it, going, it's okay. We're going to feel those things, but um, and they did too. It's a part of human life, but they're like, but you can stand in the middle of a firestorm of drama and watch it going on around you, but you don't have to solve it all for everyone else. And then underneath all that, they do have the Lovers card, which is a card of emotional choice that you get to choose how you feel, and you're not responsible about how everyone else chooses to feel. So kind of lighten up. That's what they're saying. Lighten up, girl, and know that you can only control your own emotions, not someone else's. And no one can make you feel any particular way, but you can't make anyone else feel like anything else either. It's interesting. So that's the start of your reading with the underlying energy. Yeah, the 8 of wands. Yeah, there's a lot of messages coming from spirit. 8 of wands that's one of the meanings, and they're coming very strong with it, that this is that, where they've been giving you a lot of messages, a lot of synchronicities, a lot of memories, touching a lot of things in your brain, giving you floods of emotion, and amongst others too. But they're like, yeah, yes, that is me. If you've been wondering, is that you doing that and saying that, whatever? You're like, yup. Yup. It sure is. So that's what that is recognizing here. 3 of Pentacles, dual message that they're bringing in here is, yeah, be true to your authentic self. Let your creativity go forward. Don't be afraid just to be yourself and to come forward. But they're also saying, but also know that not everyone's a douchebag. That's funny. Not everyone's a douchebag. That there are people that you could have friends that you can create things with. And I don't feel like, there's like 2 people that um I feel like one you're aware of and one's coming, but that you haven't uh became close friends where you can create something together yet. But they're coming into your life here, and part of that draw is your spiritual posse drawing these people to you, for the purposes of creating something unique that's an expression of who you are. So just know that they're coming if you're wondering that. Yeah, you have the 9 of Pentacles. This is about your independence. Um, so maintaining your independence, it's not codependence, but it's about co-creating something with someone. but this is all about, you're never, ever, ever alone with the Nine of Pentacles. Even if you feel lonely in the outside world, you've got this person's in a garden by themselves. That nine is the hermit's energy, but spirit's always with you. So you're never, ever, ever alone. You're surrounded by them and a great host of beings of unconditional love and light. So just know that. All of this, we had 3 cards and there's this equal sign. Yeah. What what's gonna control what all comes of this? You have the King of Wands with the 3 of Swords, yeah. So this is letting the expectations go, and the King of Wands is deciding what you want, getting all these thoughts and beliefs out of your head, releasing that Ten of Swords, all that underlying energy they started off here, going, don't worry about, well, what will people want? What will this? What will this? Blah, blah, blah. It's like, no, close your eyes, get out of your, like, the King of Wands is clearing the throne room from all these self appointed advisors, blah, 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 and in your ear about what you should do and how you're supposed to do it and all this. They're like, that's nice. Thank you for your opinions, but clear the throne room. Have them throw all their opinions in this box on their way out the door. And you can box it up and tape it up and go, I'll leave it over there because I'm going to discover what is it that I want to do. Then make a plan. Then you put energy behind it. And then these other 2 people will come in to help you with creating whatever this is. But it's still yours, even though they help. The dream, the goal, the direction is yours, and you're the one that gets to decide, no one else. And so I feel like that's important. And where this leads to with that equal sign is these 4 cards. And you got the 4 of Cups. It's time to get rid of the same old, the boredom. And this is the inspiration that comes in with this here. These are what we normally would do, what everyone else is wanting you to do. But here's that inspiration. Here's you, Ace of Cups, flowing this rainbow energy that comes in, allowing you um, to wish. It's like the Wizard of Oz, right? Or the Wiz. It's the um, somewhere over the rainbow. And there's this dream that you're bringing, and here's the pot of gold. Oh, that's I never saw this before. So the at the end of the rainbow is the pot of gold, but the pot of gold is you. um, and expressing your heart is what's there. That's interesting. And the Four of Swords, all this stability that comes in here. Four of Swords is letting expectations go, seeing things from a more clearer perspective from up above. So all these fours, the King of Cups, balancing of your head and heart, and trusting the timing with things with the Knight of Pentacles, that things have been slowly unfolding and going in this direction, and things might have felt like they became very stagnant, but it has been happening for you so that you can um, be letting go of these expectations and the influence of these small t truths rooted in fear, and see things from a higher perspective, and pursue something that's more in alignment with your heart instead of the opinions that are in your head that came from people of the outside world. So a lot of uniqueness and letting go of the people pleasing, which we're all taught to do. There's no judgment there, but they're encouraging you. It's time for you to move forward and embrace that. Let's see what the your fortune cookie brings in here as well. All right. Yeah, connection. Boom, boom. Here's the heart connection. Stay connected with others, nature, and the universe. There you go. Boom, boom, boom. So perfect. So I love that for you, Rocky's World. That is what they have for you, my dear. Thank you again for your donation. I love those messages from them. All right. So, Trampilla, you are up next here. I know, I love that for you. All right, so Trampzilla, there is your donation. We'll give that a love and a like, and cheers. Let's have a cheers for the coffee. We've got to honor the coffee. All right. So thank you for that. And So your question is, what is Richard's perception of you? Let me just see here. See if you added anything else here. So we saw that. Oh, you saw the original 90s Mortal Kombat movie a couple of months ago. In your favorite theater, you usually play Katana at the arcade. Ah, how fun. I know. It's like my first ex, uh, they loved playing Mortal Kombat, the game, and I did not me growing up, we did not have video games, right? Um, but they evidently did, and they would like, "Here, play," and I would put down the controller because at some point when they would start hitting me, in the game, they would just keep me up in the air, bam, bada, bam, 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 bada, bam, 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 bada, bam, 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 and then do the super kill, and I would just put the controller down, and he was like, "I'm sorry." Like, bastard. You play. Too fun. All the memories, Mortal Kombat. All right. So let's take a look here and find out what is Richard's perception of you. All right, let's take a look here. So, of course, remember, good, just a friendly reminder that our perception of everything in the outside world is through our own glasses and our own filters of our experiences, our conditioning. So we don't see the world as it is. We see the world as we are. So a lot of their perception of you is through this mirroring of how they see themselves. So just keep that in mind as we pull these and just know that they don't see you clearly. We don't see ourselves clearly either. All right, so let's take a look here. What do we got here? Yeah, didn't we? Did we get hermit energy for them before? Because that's the bottom of the deck is the hermit there, and even underneath that we've got the temperance card, which is slow moving energy as well. Temperament, they're very slow to open up, very slow moving forward with people and things. So it's good to understand that below the surface, they're very much to themselves and very much focused upon themselves. But specifically for you, yeah, we sure did, didn't we? Their perception of you, we have the Knight of Swords, which is a movement of communication, a movement of mindset, and like their perception of you is that you're always learning, always, this is funny, always asking questions. What? Like you're wanting to get to know them, and their impression is like not that you're a busybody or anything like that, but that you're just it's like uh I feel like they're like, I feel like I'm in the Spanish Inquisition. What about this? Well, tell me about that. Well, what about this? It's like you're very curious, and because they're such a private person, it's amplified even more because they're like, "Why are you trying to find out my secrets?" It is like it's what you do. You're a curious being. You like asking questions and getting to know people, and I feel like that's kind of like your way of um like you want to get to know people, you want to understand people, um and so you can start up conversations with strangers. It feels like you could you can't take you anywhere, kind of energy, because you'll end up talking to the cashier or a person standing nearby and get into these conversations, and they're like, because they're such a hermit, they're going to see you as an extrovert and contacting a lot of people and doing this, but they're like, "You like to talk." You always talk to strangers, actually, yeah. And not like you talk too much, but they notice you like to talk to people and things, and they're very kind of more of a quiet, reserved person, and so they're just like and they're okay with, like, if you do all the talking, that's good because then I don't have to reveal a whole lot, right? You know how to disarm people. I just saw a Mortal Kombat, um, scene of the game where they rip off someone's arm. "There you go. Ah, which button is that to disarm?" But they see that, and it's very different from who they are, so it stands out to them, there. They don't see it as a bad thing. In fact, it's kind of like an admiration a bit of that you can talk to anyone, and they have a hard time talking to people. Um, it doesn't come easy for them anyway. Like, they have to work at it. Let's see what else. You got these 3 cards together. You have 4 of swords with the 10 of pentacles and the 4 of pentacles. Wow. So this very solid energy that's here, the energy it picks up is, um, they get the impression that, like with the 10 of pentacles, and this is your crush, right? And I feel like they know it. They feel like, "I know you want more from me than I'm able to give," kind of energy that's here, it feels like. 4 Pentacles is my home card, and it does feel like part of what goes on with them here. I feel like they wanna return home, um, and so when they look at the 4 of Swords, this is rest, like resting expectations around relationship and things, and I feel like it's like, if you know it's like it's even if, like, you're going on vacation, you can meet people and talk with them, but you know you're going home, and so you don't necessarily wanna develop connections with people when you know you're leaving eventually, and I feel like that's the kind of energy that comes in here. They realize this, kind of bond or this desire from you, but underneath the surface, they have that, "I'm leaving, so I'm not connecting with people." So I feel like they're gonna return home and they're only there for a certain amount of time, and they know they're only gonna be there for a certain amount of time before they return, because 'cause they're from England, right? I think is what you said was they're bringing back. And I'm like, "Oh, that makes sense." That they're from there and they might have moved here for a while, but I feel like they're underneath the surface, they know this pull of going back home. Yeah, the 7 of Swords. They're not very trusting of people, um, with that 7 of Swords, that's fearing, like, being deceived, fearing, being cheated on, betrayed, and so they don't trust a whole lot of people because what they did when they were younger and it didn't fare well, so they, um, have this, um, energy of they used to be, "I trust you," not you, but I trust people, until they show me a reason not to. Now I don't trust people until they show me they can be trusted. So they kind of have that hesitancy. And I do feel in a way that you remind them of someone who betrayed them when they were, and it has to do with your boldness and how you um, carry yourself in this kind of confidence. They were like, there was people like that it was a facade, and so there's that mistrust that's there, and not that you've done anything to ruin their trust. They just have a hard time trusting people, as well, if that makes sense. You want to go to a festival in Scotland? He lives in the UK. It sounds like he wants to visit. Oh, the US. Okay, has reasons to not trust people. Okay, yeah. So he actually lives in the UK and he wants to visit the US. I get it. So there is this connection to home, then that makes sense. Not returning, but not leaving home kind of energy. And there's that mistrust energy that's there, right? Let's see what else. We have the 8 of Pentacles. There is work and schooling energy that comes in here. And below the surface, yeah, the 9 of Swords again. Um, Like you want oh, the reading sounds like it? I don't know. I feel like they're not much of an adventurer, it feels like, with this, although with this Eight of Pentacles, the Nine of Swords is the fears, it's the nightmare and insomnia and, getting to the point where all these expectations and trying to live up to all these things and all the fears that this construct of all the stuff to make them feel safe. I don't know. This Eight of Pentacles is about school, work, creation kind of energy. Um, but it feels like something regarding work or education. I don't it just feels more it feels like a combo, maybe training for work might take them and bring them somewhere and expand, but, working on a music project, that they're like, "My work might take me, to places, but they have to overcome these fears first, because they definitely have that very slow moving, energies here, but I feel like when we're looking at all this, it's like, um, they're very hesitant, um, and the energy that I sense from them when they're thinking about you is like, I want to get to know you and I want you to get to know me, but I'm very hesitant, and I know and I feel like there's this fear of not living up to what you're wanting, and I feel like they feel like you want more, um from them than that they're ready to say, or commit to or expand in. It's like, you've already gone it's funny. They're bringing up Mortal Kombat again. You've already, achieved all these levels and you're ready to fight the boss, and they're like, "I just I'm just learning how this works," kind of energy, if that makes sense. So, but so, they like that you're pulling them out of their shell in a way, but they're also a bit resistant, if that makes sense, to it a little bit. Let's see what the fortune cookie brings in here. Yeah, we got hope. Hope energy. Hope is a beam of light in the darkness. And what a good energy. You are a beam of light in darkness, and you are this hope kind of energy. Oh, a couple years too, yeah. So I feel like you are this bright light in darkness for them, um, but there's also that hesitancy of trusting it, kind of energy. But, I feel like that's where they're at right now, and that makes sense. So, they wanted to kind of start off talking about where they're at, and they're really focused in on them, that they're not really this open book. They're more of um I don't know, a top secret dossier. They're not an open book. So hopefully that helps with just understanding where they're coming from there. But I feel like that's what they're wanting you to know right now. So interesting. So many blessings to you. Thank you again. Enjoy your coffee. I'm going to take another sip too. Cheers to you. All right. So we've got up next. We have Ankita. More, and then Maria P times two, and then Sudeshna. I see yours here. Hello, hello. See if anyone else has come in here too. Good to see you. Oh, Olivier Vagata. Hello, my dear. Good to see you as well. And Cat Goddess. Hello, good to see you. I was like, I didn't wear one of my cat shirts today. I've got our little gnomes. Feel very whimsical. And I think that's everyone that's come in. Yeah, exactly. All right. So let us jump in here. So, and Kita Moore, let's grab your timestamp here. And we'll scroll up here. So, thank you for your donation and your very calm emoji. very reflective. And you want to know here, is this guy, John, manipulating Yoti and Yoti herself involved with him? When will she leave him if she will? All right. Let's take a look here, see what we got going on in this situation. All right. So, are they manipulating, knowingly manipulating Yoti? If I'm saying that name correctly, my apologies if I'm not. And then, is Yoti herself involved with him? So, current energies. So, we got these. And then, when will she leave him if she will, right? Well, I feel like as I say that, we have the 8 of cups, which is walking away from relationships that don't serve anymore. So, yeah. And then we'll pull a not a fortune cookie, one of the learning tarot that has uh, timing and dates on it. And we'll see what that is. We'll throw that up there for now. All right. So, are they knowingly manipulating Yoti here? Well, we've got the King of Pentacles, the Page of Cups. I don't feel like they knowingly are. I feel like they're pursuing um, abundance in the outside world and trying to find fullness of life and trying to find higher love here. So I don't feel like they're knowingly doing it, but below the surface, with the Three of Swords, there is this expectations equal disappointment, and I feel like they wanted to clarify they're not knowingly manipulating, but and I think, yeah, it's next week's my Easier Path podcast. I talk about the three stages of manipulation and that sometimes we don't know when we're being manipulative because we're taught from generation to generation. We can act sad when we're not getting our way, angry when we're not getting our way. And then that's like stage one, stage two, stage three is rejection. Well, if you won't do what I want, then I'm not talking to you. So we cry and act sad if we don't get it, the sadsies, and then we bully if the sad doesn't work, and then we reject if the other two, cold shoulder, hanging up, ignoring, ghosting. And I feel like with these three swords, this is the three steps of manipulation below surface. So they're not knowingly doing it. They really are wanting to try to find fulfillment and higher love. But what they were taught growing up about manipulation, I feel they do the tricks that were done to them growing up to get them to do what other people wanted them to do. So it's learned behavior that they don't know any better. They just think this is normal. Just like me, I talk about in the next week's podcast how I don't know if I go into the details, but my was it number three relationship, they were like they called me out on it, and they were like, I'm not gonna deal with this manipulation because I would leave the room and act sad. That's what I learned growing up. Act sad to get, because that's what you do. Then I'm responsible for everyone else's emotions. Everyone else is responsible for mine. That's what most of us are taught growing up, right? Whether that is through sad or bullying or rejection, or those three stages. And they were like, if because I would leave a room and walk and go outside or whatever, um, or hang up, um, and so they were like, you either if you want to talk, talk. If you want to walk, walk. But this isn't going to work, and you need to get this squared away. Um, and I was like, "What?" So it's a big eye opener. That's why I feel like they're saying here they're not aware that they're manipulating or using those tactics, um, but they are there. So good call on that. Is she herself involved with him? We have the Four of Cups, the Page of Wands. I feel that they're wanting more. I feel like there's not as much there as Yoti wants. The Four of Cups is kind of bored, emotionally stagnant. Page of Wands is wanting more action, wanting more with them. Also, we've got, the Two of Wands here with the Wheel of Fortune and the Seven of Wands. This combination, the Two of Wands is like making plans, and the Wheel of Fortune is like in her head. She's making plans of, oh, this is what it would be like. She's really attracted to their Seven of Wands energy, which is they are pretty bold and they come across as confident, and being like, you know, not asking permission to shine, not dimming their light. This is me. Take me for who I am, and blah 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 blah. And this confidence is really attractive to Yoti. And below the surface, yeah, Queen of Cups. There's a lot of. I feel like, in a way, that she is like in love with the thought of being in love. That's this vision of a future, because they're not seeing um Abhishek as they are. They're seeing them as the potential of who they could be and how they fit into this dream. They're not seeing reality. They're seeing this um mirage in the desert, going, "Oh, wow, this is what they could be." And they're like and you're probably looking at it going, no. Don't you see what's going on here?" And they're like, "No, it's beautiful, it's wonderful." And that's that, no one can get through to us. That's the way I used to be too. I would fall in love with the potential of who someone could be, not who they were presently. And then, whoa, what a surprise when we discovered they're not what I was putting them in the role to be in my life. Um, so, and so I do feel like she will get to that point where she realizes, oh, and then she will walk away from it because she'll have that eye opener. The Ace of Swords here is the when, which is the new knowledge and new awareness comes in. There is new information that, like, the clarity comes in with that Ace of Swords. There's 3 periods. The more recent one just ended September 23rd to October 22nd. So the next one's gonna be January 20th to February 18th. That's when I feel like they're gonna between now and then, they start to see things. The holes start to appear in the dream, but then January 20th to February 18th, which is actually, um, Aquarius season, they're like, "Wait a minute, I'm seeing clarity." And then there's the movement away, from that situation. So that's based on current energy, of course, because timing is everything. Um, well, timing isn't everything. Timing is based on our energies and our choices and our decisions. It's in flux. There's hardly any faded moments that are an exact day and time. It's always ranges. And those ranges can change depending on our choices as well. This is a world of possibilities. So something to be aware of. And that is what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Oh, got to get a fortune cookie. Can't forget that. All right, there we go. Your fortune cookie says, yeah, communication. And it says, effective communication is the bridge to understanding and connection. And I feel here that the lack thereof, this is what makes the bridge crashes, because the communication, um, I feel like there's clarity that comes in the communication, because they start to go, wait a minute, that's not what you said before. And then she starts putting things together, going, oh, kind of energy. So hopefully that makes sense. All right. So that is what they have for you, Ankita. So many blessings to you. All right. See, we have Preeti. Hello. Hello. I am doing great. How are you? Much love to you too. Thanks for being here. Oops. Let me switch stacks here. I got 3 stacks of these light sears tarot. So we got all these going on. All right. So let me get this set up here. All right. So we've got Maria P. You are up. And of course, you have two. So here is for your first one. And we'll, of course, circle back for number two here in a moment. Thank you for your dual donations via Z PayPal. Let me scroll down and we'll get your questions up here. Let's take a quick sip of quickly cooling coffee. I should write this down while I'm thinking about it. It's and this is maybe part of your reading, is a coffee mug warmer, especially as we're going into fall and winter here down in the cellar where I live. Um, it's always colder down here. My coffee, it cools off fast. So maybe I need to get one of those little coffee warmers where you put the mug on there and it keeps it hot. So how to keep your relationships hot and warm, right? Let's take a look here. All right. So, Wally's thoughts and feelings. Let's take a look here. After your date yesterday, all right. So, thoughts, feelings, and then today. Yeah, let's do it like that. Thoughts, feelings. All right. And then what's coming towards you guys this upcoming week? Okay. Dark side updates. You butt dialed Jeff yesterday. Whoa. And said, sorry, dialed you by mistake and tried to leave a message, but he seemed upset or mad. Drama. Yeah. We'll take a look here. Yeah. All right. So let's see here. So Wally's thoughts about you and about us, being meaning you two, not you and me. Um, After the date, yeah, ooh, Knight of Wands, a lot of fire, passionate energy moving there. The mind is really focused on the passion, energy, and um, just really that physical and passionate, energetic connection, really at the top of their mind there. And then today, Ace of Pentacles, yeah, they're thinking of what's next, what's next in the outcome of the world, the physical world. It's about a new start. It's about what's the next new event, what's the next new thing that they're thinking about here with you here. So a little bit of thinking, and I feel like it's more about when is the next date? What's the next thing that we're going to do? They're not, this thinking isn't so much about long-term plans or anything like that. It's like, what's next? You know, what are we going to do next? Kind of thing. Emotions, the feelings after your date yesterday. Oh, yeah. Two of Cups, Buddha, 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 Buddha. So just this wonderful connection, this wonderful transformational energy, Pisces energy here. So the deep emotions boiling up within them in a positive way, just the strong bond emotionally too. Um, and then today, the Nine of Wands. This is an interesting thing. The Nine of Wands is, um, I don't know why it's not a wall towards you in their heart, but I feel like their wall is up today around their heart. Maybe we'll find out with this dark side update. Let's just jump to that. Yeah, the Nine of Cups. Here's this nine energy. That's the Nine of Cups is about an emotional dream come true and the wishing and this makes sense now why they wanted to leap to that because they do feel like um it's not them holding it back. They feel held back in being able to move forward in their wish and move toward it just because of circumstances and all the deets that have to happen. I can't just leave everything and run away with someone. even though maybe that's something that they're like, yeah, if we could just leave everything behind and just go, that's like the how they get relief from all of these mindsets of this has to happen and then this and this and this and this. What about all this? It just becomes overwhelming because there's so much because they've been together, well, they were together for a very long time, they've got a lot of connection financially, legally, child-wise, everything else, right? It's difficult to it's like if you ever have, like, all these necklaces and they're all these chains and they're all thrown together in your jewelry box, and you look at this clump and go, "I really want to separate all this stuff, but, back into the box. Let's just close that." Feels like so much that you kinda just it's like when you look at a journey of 1,000 miles, you get exhausted, but if you just take one thing step at a time, then the journey unfolds. Let's just work on one chain. Put that over here. We're not gonna put it back in there, we're gonna put it on its little peg over here. We're gonna put the chains differently, right? So I feel like that's kind of what's going on there emotionally and everything with that. What's coming for you guys next week? I feel like 3, you have a joyful celebration and a gathering, possibly with the 4 of Wands. Does feel like there's something going on that they want to attend or something that you guys will do together, but it's a joyful celebration type of event. You also have the Knight of Cups, a night of romance or a date of romance that comes in here. And in between, there's a possibility of the Hierophant here too. So there's 2 feel like they're very based on current energies, to happen, and this other one is like an extra one. Doesn't necessarily have to be in person, but it is about talking about things, seeing things from a higher perspective, even talking about the steps. Here's the steps going to the end here, and it's like, what's the very next step? I like this, them laughing and enjoy the journey. Don't like make it like a task to get up here. Enjoy and laugh. Sit at each step and enjoy each step because that's part of the adventure. So I like that. Let's not rush. Let's enjoy the moments. Always going back to gratitude, right? And then let's take you here about Jeff. You butt dialed. What did he feel here? The 4 of Swords here, letting go of expectations, peace of mind, and this Chariot card energy underneath about the power of choice energy. Um, it does feel here a little bit of you know, energy around not being chosen. There's a little bit of, "Oh, you butt dialed me. You're just teasing me. You're just, playing games. You're trying to show interest." And I feel like that's where they're like, I try and then you pull away, but then you throw me a line to try to keep me interested. That's where they're in their head. um, and they're torn again, that power of choice between two people with the Chariot card coming in, but they're like, uh, I kind of feel like they think you're playing games with them because that's what they do. They play games, and that's why they think other people do it. The guilty dog barks first, as they say. So I feel like that's why they're upset, is because they're like, you're playing games. Sure, you butt dialed me. Um, and a solution for that is to delete his number out of your phone. Otherwise, why are you keeping it, right? If you're choosing Wally, then why is his number still in your phone? So maybe that's something to go, this is a good awareness. I'm going to delete them off of here. Um, because I'm choosing Wally, right? So I like that. Let's see what your fortune cookie is for that. And then we'll go on to number 2 here for you. They're still in your phone. Maybe you still think they're an option, right? Yeah, I like this. You have a blessing, which says, blessings are gifts from the universe. Receive and share them. I like this. That's a kind of a gratitude energy, right? look at and focus on what blessings you have, and I like that. All right. So that's what they have for number 1. For number 2, let's grab your timestamp here. Hey, Patty, Patty, good to see you. Hello, hello. Just grab this real quick here. Oops. There we go. All right. And let's look at number 2 here for you. All right. So you've been having beautiful dates, and we agree very romantically. Does he know I only love him and wouldn't go out with Jeff or David or anyone? Does he get jealous? What's coming towards you at work? Does Walter want to take things higher with you? Okay. All right. So, based on today's energy after your interactions, where is he at? Because we know before he wasn't sure what route you were going to take here. So, look at that with those. And does he get jealous? That'll all be in that here. What's coming towards you at work? And does Walter want to take things higher? Oh, based on current energies. All right. All right. So, does he know? Does he know? Does he know? Um, I feel like with all these cards here, we got I feel like they have more peace of mind around it. They're still not 100% yet. I mean, are we ever 100% sure that someone's not gonna leave us, you know? But because we have the 4 of Swords, which is the peace of mind, but we got the World card, which is an ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure, which so it feels like things might be going to a different level for them, but we also have the Death and Rebirth card. So there is still this ending energy that is there. So but I do feel with the 4 of Swords, there's more peace of mind. Um, if he had to put a percentage around it, will they give that to me? I feel before it was 50-50, it had gone down to 50-50. I feel like they were a bit, in the beginning when you guys first met and when you were, you know, so your energy was so much about I want to be with you and I want more, 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 more with you. They thought, wow, you only want me 100% if that. But I feel like that is a bit um, dreamy for us in the beginning. We all think that. We all want to believe that. And then reality sits in. It's like, all right, maybe 75-25. They were pretty confident. Then it went down to 50-50 through some bumpy times with you guys. I feel like maybe we're 60-40, which is an improvement. But I feel like there's just consistency in actions and interactions is what naturally grows that, right? When anything shaky happens, that's what kind of goes whoosh, right? Then we build back up, right? So I feel that. And I want to jump to do they want things to go higher with you? Queen of Wands. Um, I feel like they do, but the Queen of Wands is they're not sure. Like they know that that's what you want. And because it's interesting, and I'm trying to understand the energy. I'm just sitting in it here trying to put it into English words because it's like your desire to move things forward. They know you want to move things forward. Um, they're not sure here. I don't feel like they're jealous. I feel like they just fear that, and that's what jealousy really is. It's fear that you're going to choose someone else. There is that there because they've had it happen in the past. Um, and possibly they've gone through that with other people themselves too. So they've been on both sides of the coin as you have been on both sides of the coin, I feel, where, you know, you've been left and other people have left for other people. And so there is the possibilities of that there. And that's where the fear comes in of jealousy. It's the insecurity of, what if they leave me? What if they do? What are we scared of? If someone, no one can take your person away from you. Um, they can only show you what you want to see about yourself and what you want to see about someone else. It's not, no one can take anything from us that is not ours, right? And that's an important thing. And this Queen of Wands is saying that they know, that you want to, and because of your energy is such a stronger energy, they're not sure what they want because your desire is so loud to them. Not that you are being loud to them, but inside of them, this fear of not meeting up to what they think you're wanting far outweighs them knowing what they want. Um, because it feels like you're way ahead of the game on what you're wanting and they're slowly catching up. So they never really think about what they want next because you're already thinking 10 steps ahead and they're looking at what you're wanting, if that makes sense. But I feel like here, if they'd be honest with themselves and step out of their fear, they would see that, yeah, they do, but they can't find their plans because you're already making the plans kind of energy, if that makes sense. That's funny. And then what's coming for you at work? Yeah, the three of wands with the new information. I feel like you are going to want to be change of direction is in the future here for you. It doesn't feel like something like tomorrow or next week, but it feels like there's a new path that opens up for you. At least there's an opportunity of a door opening up at work. You just have to be looking for it, if that makes sense. All right. Let's see what else we have here for your fortune cookie for your second one here. All right, there we go. Yeah, an awakening. Beautiful. Awakening is the process of discovering your true self. I like this. It's a good reminder that your life is your own, and all these, like we are just talking about, we discover more about ourselves as we interact with other people, about what we do want and don't want. What we think we see in other people is a reflection of ourselves. So it's a good awareness coming in there. So hopefully that resonates there for you. And that's what they have for you, Maria. So thank you again for your donations. I greatly appreciate those. All right, we're back to this one here. All right. So, let me take a look here. All right. And all this coffee I drank this morning is knocking on my bladder. I'm going to run to the little boy's room real quick, and then we'll come back in here and we will continue. I've got Sudeshna will be up next for donations, and then Patty, you'll be up after that. Then, if I don't have any other donations, we'll be jumping into the free readings, but I want to be able to focus. So I'll be right back. adjust my pillow too so I don't fall off of here. All right. Much better. Thank you. Thank you. Hey, Debbie, Debbie. Good to see you. All righty. Now I can focus. All right. So, Sudeshna, you are up next. Thank you so much for your donation. And I don't know if you got my email. I did reply back to you because you're on my list, right? Yeah. So you won one of the 15-minute person recorded readings. Replied back to you. So if you replied back to me, I didn't get it. So you might double check that. So just in case, I want to make sure you knew that. All right, let's give your donation a love and a like here. And you'd like for the upcoming week for you, love, career, health, and guidance. All right, let's take a look here. So for this next week, love, 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 love. All right. Good. Love is a focus, right? All right. Career. Yep. And then health. Okay. And then any additional guidance here. All right. Looks like they're talkative today. All right. So regarding love, first here. Oh, I know. Knight of Pentacles. Do you have you been ev- all of these that we've been getting a lot for love for you, no matter where we do it in the thing, you always get a patience card, don't you? At least lately, it feels like the last few we've done, it's like Temperance, Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles, the or the Hanged Man, these cards that are about slow movement, things slowly going forward. But that's what happens with the Knight of Pentacles is things slow down to give us an opportunity to clarify things, to let go of expectations, to let go of that which no longer serves us, to free us so we can take our love vibration to a higher level where we draw in something that matches what our soul is wanting, not so much doing what we've done before and getting what we've gotten before, right? So I feel like that's what's coming in here. Yeah, and you have the Devil card. So the shaking and looking at some long held beliefs that our family, our society, movies, whatever we learned growing up on what we think is supposed to be and should be and need to be, and all those beliefs around relationship and love. This is the clearing away of those things. Yeah. And then the Four of Swords is letting go of the expectations around relationships because that's what sucks the life out of relationships is all of these rules around who someone is supposed to be, who they're supposed to be in the relationship, how a relationship is supposed to form and start and progress, and what's the outcome it's supposed to have, and who am I supposed to be in the relationship, and who am I supposed to be? All of that is exhausting. And that's what it does. We end up focusing on what's not happening, creates a downward spiral. So if you look at all the relationships and interactions that you've had in the past, as we all do, if we reflect on it, we realize, yeah, it was all that we ended up focusing on what was not going on, not celebrating and having gratitude and joy around what was. It was the opposite, right? I mean, so this is teaching us right now for you this next week. It continues letting go of these expectations and changing my approach. Yeah. And then Page of Wands underneath the surface, that's what sparks. It's raising that love vibration with the Page of Wands on the bottom. So that just confirms that there. Even on the bottom of the deck, overall for your entire week's reading, you have the Ten of Swords, which is one of those walking away from expectations and I'm sick and tired of trying to live up to all these things. I'm going to be me. What do I want? Right. So there's that kind of freedom that comes in with that. Um, Career is next. Knight of Pentacles for that too. Just so you know, I'm using 3 decks of the Light Seers Tarot combined together. And so there is 2. There is this little slow movement, again, giving you an opportunity to let go of things that don't serve you anymore with career too. So it's progress. The Knight of Pentacles. I like how on this one, they're even showing them, they're not on the um the horse riding it like a, like they do in the horse races, or, the Pony Express of the olden days in the United States, but they're actually walking, taking their time. Um, so that's just knowing that things are happening. It's just slow movement, but it's giving the opportunity, instead of having things come in fast, especially if we're having a lower vibration, it's slow moving to give us time to raise our love vibration. Then these other things fall away, right? So I like that. And then health, of course. Disclaimer is always talk about health. I'm not a licensed medical professional. See the disclaimer in the description box of the video. Tarot's for entertainment purposes and for fun, right? So, of course, see a professional for any health concerns. From Spirit's perspective, you have the Eight of Pentacles. You are putting in the blood, the sweat, the tears. There is about taking action towards your health is important. Yeah, you have a victory. You have an ending of an old cycle, a beginning of a new adventure, and a transformational energy of the Hanged Man. As I said, you got each of your areas. You got the Knight of Pentacles, Hangman, which is about slow transitional movement and trusting it all, right? Um, and that with the 10 of swords being at the bottom, there is that when I'm focusing on what's not happening with my body, not happening at work, not happening in love, I get more of not happening. When I focus and I like get out of my head of all the supposed to be's and should be's and need to be's and have to be's and must be's, blah, 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 all that opinion. When I come into gratitude for what do I love about love in my life, what's the love I'm experiencing in my life, both from family, friends, lovers, whoever, who, right? What am I grateful for? I have and have had. Same thing with career. What do I love about my job? What do I love about jobs and career I've had in the past? My health. What do I love about my body and my health? Then we grow and that grows instead of focusing on all that other. So I feel like it's a good week of, yeah, I'm going to make I can make gratitude my daily practice, right? And then your guidance overall, Three of Pentacles. Yeah, but allow yourself to create this week. How do you express your creativity? Is it, what kind of artistic expression do you have? Painting, pottery, knitting, sewing, um, sand art, doing mandalas, um, making it's whatever making. When have you done that? It's a good week. Flower arrangements. I'm trying to think of all the stuff that we do to make things, even doodling and, expression, artistic expression is important for you this week. Helps you get in tune with remembering you are a creator. I like that. Yep, you have the Eight of Wands coming in. Sorry, I almost dropped all the cards. Eight of Wands. So there's this energy this week of listening. Uh, Eight of Wands can be a lot of nudges from spirit and recognizing a lot of synchronicities and things coming forward. There is a lot of energy this week. There's a lot of activity, but it's where are you going to focus your energy this week? We have got joy, 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 and celebration here coming in, and then the Seven of Pentacles. I was thinking, Temperance is the only one we didn't get out of the four cards I talked about with patience and allowing things to go. You got Seven of Pentacles, Knight of Pentacles twice, and the Hanged Man. The only one that I mentioned that you didn't get is Temperance. So there is this week is a week of take things a moment at a time and focus on the joy in the moment as much as you can is the guidance energy that comes in. We do have Lord Ganesha, remover of obstacles, that's visiting us too. They're done here. As soon as I put your cards back in and grab your fortune cookie, I will show you. Got little Lord Ganesh. Beautiful little one here. And let's see what your fortune cookie for the week is coming in here. And I do see additional donation. We'll circle back around for that here in a moment. And yeah, you got strength. Look at it's like the circle of life, Lion King coming in. Your inner strength is boundless. Unleash it. I love that. And there's that beautiful butterfly. Just trust the transformation, the moon back there, trust the cycles. But I feel like that's what they have for you for this one. So many blessings to you. I see you made another one too. So thank you so much for your multiple donations. I'll just put you on the list here as we move forward. So cheers, everybody. I'm going to take a quick sip here. All right. And we will continue with the donations. So, Patty, you are up. Thank you so much for your donation. Here's your timestamp. And we'll give that a love and a like. Thank you again for the donation. And your question is guidance and a message from spirit. All right. And we'll shuffle these up. Let's see what we got going on here. Okay. These two. I do want that one. I do want that one. I do want these three here. And this moves down into the beneath the surface. Yeah, I feel like that is it here. All right. Get these all scooched around. Bottom of the deck, you have the King of Pentacles, and that's a great energy. One of the most abundant cards. And it does feel, I mean, we just finished a super moon in Taurus, a very earth energy, which the King of Pentacles is. So there is this movement of things in the outside world, but it feels it's an expansion, it's a solidity, it's a grounding of the outside world. And there is this feeling here coming up of abundance. It's also a card that kind of just points us back to gratitude, right? The fullness of life. Look how full our lives are. And, gratitude journals are so overdone. And I know when I did a gratitude journal and Spirit had prompted me, it was years ago. And they were like, we'd like you to consider doing a gratitude journal. I'm like, oh, really? Ugh. There does it feels like work, and God, are they really work? And they're like, give it a try. Give it a try. Just 30 days. That's all you have to do. 30 days each morning or sometime during the day. Just write down one thing in a little gratitude journal, something that you're grateful for, and don't repeat anything for 30 days. And I'm like, fine, I'll do it. I trust you. I'll do it. All right. So I changed my attitude about it and did it. At the end of 30 days, the energy changed so much of being aware of all the things around, even just if it's, look, I have electricity. I'm grateful for electricity. Oh, I'm grateful for indoor plumbing. I'm grateful that I have healthy drinking water. I'm grateful that I have internet. I'm grateful that I have heating. I'm grateful that I have air conditioning. I'm grateful that I have windows. It was just like looking around the room when I would do it. I could see, oh, there's the light socket. Oh, electricity. Oh, my phone. I'm grateful that I have the cell phone. I'm grateful that we can communicate. I'm grateful, and it was just like at the end of 30 days, I was like so into gratitude that I want to continue to do it. Um, and my Aquarian energy was like, I don't want to have an end date to it. I don't have expectations. I want to do things my way. That's very much Aquarius energy. It's that Uranus, you know, the old ways don't work for me. I want my way. And so I'm like, you know what? I'm going to continue to do that going forward. We'll see how long it lasts. And literally, it was like 4.5, 5 months that I stopped doing a gratitude journal every day, writing something I'm grateful for, not repeating anything. And um, I stopped not because I didn't have anything else to be grateful for. Um, I just was like, I don't need to do this anymore because after doing it that long, my nature became focused on what I'm grateful for. And it changes everything because when we focus on gratitude, it's what draws things in, right? And so gratitude journals are amazing things. Even if it's just write down one little thing that I'm grateful for each day without repeating it, do it for 30 days. And if you want to do it longer, then you can. But, commit to 30 days. And I feel like that would just transform things for you. Um, Not that you're ungrateful now, it just the focus of it really just draws in more things to be grateful for. All right, and then you have 2 cards, 1 card, and then 2 cards and 2 underneath. So let's see here. The first 2 cards that came out, you have the Justice card and the 6 of Cups. So there is this balancing energy between both of these, really. And I feel like that's what I remember I had that one before, but the 6 of Cups, they're showing 3 cups on one side, 3 cups on either, and there's this emotional balance that's coming in, seeing things differently from, a higher perspective that's coming in with that here. And it's like becoming aware, and again, there's this awareness, and this gratitude is what helps balance things out because in this world of it's a giant amusement park full of fear rides, we have a lot of opportunity to be drawn out into the fear world, right? Um, there's lines lined up for these rides that we get in. Um, so there's a lot of opportunity, but with gratitude, it helps bring us back. And what's great is that higher vibrational energies like gratitude and unconditional love and joy and laughter and peace and that is such powerful energy that it's not one for one, you know so if I have fear, if I have any ideas and beliefs of lack and emotions, lower vibration takes a lot. It's like it's pennies to $1,000 bills. Takes 1,000, wait, no, 10,000, right? 10,000 pennies to make $1,000. Yeah, because you move the decimal point over 2. So it takes 10,000 of these to match one of these, more or less, right? Um, so it's like one thing of gratitude helps remove a lot of the energy or balance out a lot of the energy we've had growing up. It's not one for one. So I like this energy coming in. It's like realizing one moment of gratitude in a day is gonna, like, take care of all the lower vibrational energies, or a lot of them that we'll have during the day, and so it's like, "Wow, what if I do 2 a day?" Whoa, it could be. Let's see what else we have here. Yeah, you got the 4 of Pentacles, solid foundation in the outside world. King of Pentacles on the bottom, it's also there's this awareness. One of the big lessons the king learns as he goes through all of the Pentacle suit is that when I define myself by the outside world, then I feel unstable because all those things are unstable, right? So there is this pointing inward and upward for your worth instead of looking at retail price of the outside world to define you, which is what we feel we're worth to the outside world, our perception of this is what people think of me. That's what I'm worth to them. We end up on the clearance rack usually out there, right? But when we go inward and upward, connect to the eternal, unconditional love of the higher realms, we realize that I am, in their eyes, perfect. I am priceless. And when that is our foundation of our worth, that changes us from feeling lacking and feeling the instability of the outside world to feeling full and overflowing and solid from the inside out. So there's a journey that we're on as we're discovering this. And part of that with is the Eight of Swords, which when you do this reflection and look in the mirror, we discover our old mindsets rooted in fear, rooted in lack, right? Those beliefs that make us feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted and small, opposite of who we really are. But these opposites help us, and there's this flow of letting go of old ways of thinking from the past, right? How have I been taught to define myself? Lies, oh lies. When I turn this way, then I'm like, instead of stressed out trying to become what everyone is wanting us to be and having contradictions One person wants us to be funny, one person wants us to be really serious. When I'm with both of them, I'm gonna let one of them down. So, I'm gonna choose to be who I wanna be because you can't please everyone, right? Let's see what else we have here. Yep, Queen of Wands, stepping into your power, and that comes through the Knight of Wands, the quest of seeing things from that higher perspective. Realizing that wherever you're investing your energy with the Queen of Wands, whatever she focuses on grows and she achieves. So I can focus on complaining and focusing on lack and lower vibration, becoming an expert at finding something wrong in whatever situation. I'm a master, or gratitude. I can find something to be grateful for in every moment. What do we want to be a master of? This is what this energy is coming in. And below the surface, yeah, allow yourself to grow, be patient with yourself. And the star card, really connecting to your higher self, realizing that like your dream here is to be here now with the creator, with that love in this moment. We have everything we need inside of us. We're not in a rush to get to somewhere else, right? We're able to sit and realize that connection. It's almost like an umbilical cord connected to the stars, remembering who you really are. This is who you really are. This is the little umbilical cord down to the human that your character you're pretending to be in this lifetime, but this is who you really are. So remembering who you really are is a big piece of your adventure that's coming in here. So I like that for you. We'll see what your fortune cookie comes in. Hopefully that resonates for you today. It's beautiful. Super moon energy. It's a beaver moon too, the creation energy that beavers create things that help others too. They create marshes, right? All right. Your fortune cookie here. What does Spirit want you to know right now? Okay, no, they do want this one right here. All right. Compassion. Of course, always starting with yourself. And it says, embrace others' differences, accept your own imperfections. So I like that because it's and because we're perfect, and as we were saying, in the eyes of Creator, we don't have imperfections. We just have conflict between what we've been told we're supposed to be and who we really are. And that imperfection is embrace the differences from us from other people, and embrace the differences between who we are and who we want to be and what other people want us to be. I get to be me, but I also let everyone else be themselves too, right? So I like that for you, Patty. That's what they have for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. Enjoy. All right, I'm gonna take a sip of my little, what is this? I think this is pomegranate, cranberry, apple juice. See, that stays nice and cool down here, but also cools down my coffee. All right. There are solutions. All righty, righty, righty. So, Sudeshna, we're circling back around for your next two. So, here are your first two. Boom, boom, boom. And like I said, we'll circle back for your third one here in a moment. So, thank you again for your multiple donations. We'll give that second one a love and a like there since it lets me. All right. So we have an individual who is very strict and very rude to the team. Always gives threats to us. Yay. What a healthy work environment, right? You're like, no, it's not. How will his behavior be with you in the upcoming time? It's creating mental disturbances for you. Um, so how will the work be? Yeah, I can definitely understand, you know, um, not wanting, um, that kind of environment, right? It makes usually all of our inner children feel unsafe and out of control when we perceive someone as being threatening, right? So we'll take a look here, see what advice spirit has here for you. Let me just shuffle this one more time. All right. So, how will his behavior be with you in the upcoming time? Right. Okay. Based on current energies. And how will the work be here? Okay. Oh, I do want that one too. Okay. Let's see what we got here. Bottom of the deck, you do have the Fool card. This is a world of possibilities. It's the first card in the major arcana, which is a new adventure, a new opening, an ending of an old cycle, the beginning of a new adventure. So that's a restart energy, a positive energy there. So it does feel like there might be a change of things and possibly this is like looking at things differently too. Uh, and the old way I'm looking at them and look at the new way. So, when we look at someone's very strict with us, they're very strict on themselves. And they're usually very strict on themselves because as a child, they had a very strict, again, threatening, very rude life. So they only know what they learned growing up. And what happened to them is what they're reflecting. That's what we all do as adults until we question and we transform that. We just took on what we learned and how we were treated and how people if there was a lot of yelling and threatening when I was growing up, then I'm going to be a very loud and threatening person because that's what I've taught is my normal. That's normal for them, but not normal for us. We're like, whoa, what's normal for us is not normal for them. They're like, why is everyone being so quiet and unrude? How rude of you to be so unrude. So understanding that fear is what's talking from them, not and it's not personal toward us. They're reflecting the fears that they're going through. How they're expressing themselves perfectly matches what's going on inside of them. So when you see that rah, that means they're really yelling at themselves on the inside, right? So it's not them doing it towards us. This is them doing it toward themselves. So when you ask how is their behavior going to be with me, a lot of what will happen is how are you, because they're a mirror for you. You're going to see, maybe you can also ask yourself, how strict are you with yourself? And how strict are your thoughts toward them that they need to be who I want them to be, right? That's strict. Also, if we feel someone's being strict with us, then we can recognize that within ourselves. How strict am I being with me? So this mirror is happening for me, right? They're very rude. How are my thoughts about them very rude? Ooh, right. And how are my thoughts and actions towards myself very rude? One, if you want to hear a suggestion or a possibility, is that when I'm defining my worth by their actions, that's being rude to myself, right? So, and how are my thoughts towards them threatening, and how am I threatening myself? So, some things we can look at when we're experiencing something out here. It's pointing us back to here, right, as well. So, back to the question: how will their behavior be with this new knowledge, upcoming time? The Hanged Man, just a little bit seeing things from a different perspective, and the Knight of Swords, the pursuit of seeing things from a different perspective. So seeking to understand them and where they're coming from, rather than taking their actions personally as an attack toward me, is when I approach something as instead of trying to control them and expect them to be different than they are, I'm going to try to understand what's going on with them, right? And then below the surface, yeah, these feelings of lack, of not being enough, of being abandoned, and that's that energy that's below the surface. And that is why we don't like people being loud. We don't like people appearing threatening, rude, or whatever, because at the core, if I'm defining my worth by them, then I feel worthless. I don't like feeling worthless, but as long as I'm defining myself by people, people's actions or non-actions, words or silence in the outside world, I'm going to feel unstable. I'm not going to. Once I find my worth from the inside, then I have a solid worth. It doesn't matter what people do in the outside world. And I'm not going to, like the mental disturbance is because they're acting this way. I'm taking this personally, that their actions mean something about me. When I change that inside of me, then I see them differently. And I see them as a little child crying out for love instead of an adult that's a threat, right? I see him as a child, a crying child, instead of an adult threat. So I like that. Things can change here between the two of you. How's the work going to be? You've got balance coming in here and temperance. So you got two very balanced energies. As we balance things out here, then out here balances, right? Below the surface, we do have the sun card, this abundance energy, and the two of wands. This you're looking at going a different route anyway, and so look for the hope and focus on your plans, knowing this isn't forever. That's something that kind of freaks us out as humans a little bit too, right? When we're thinking, oh, I'm going to be stuck with this person forever. Nope. The wonderful thing about life is that things change. The scary thing about life is that things change. But in this case, we can look at it as going, this isn't forever. I just am going in this moment. I'm going to be able to move past I'll get past this moment with them, and then I'm gonna live my life. I'm gonna follow my dream. That two of wands is the plans that you have of where I'm gonna go and what I'm gonna do, and where I go, they're not gonna be there. But if I don't face this situation and realize this isn't about me, I'm just gonna keep facing it through different mirrors. If I don't have this mirror of this strict, very rude, threatening person, I'm going to experience a strict, rude, threatening person somewhere else because it's happening for us. So if I can change from it's happening to me to it's happening for me to set me free from something, then I can, instead of looking at it as this is a villain, I can look at it as this is a teacher showing me something I want to see about myself, right? Yeah. Insight is all this is about. This is bringing you this energy. Insight is the fruit of wisdom. Keep a learning attitude. What can I learn from them as a human? Also, what can I learn from the situation? Both of those coming in. So I like that for you. That's what they have for you for number 2, Sudeshna. Thank you again for your multiple donations. And then number 3, we got 159.50 coming in here. Boom, there we go. So there's all of those timestamps together. And let's give your third one a love and a like here as well. All right. So any upcoming blessings for you? Any breakthroughs? All right. I love it. Let's take a look here. All right. I do want that one. All right. I saw that card is shuffling and now it came flying out. So we'll start with that. Yeah, the Three of Wands, which is an ending of one direction with new knowledge, new insight. You're heading a different direction. So you are choosing to take an off ramp somewhere in your life, which brings a blessing. So I feel like there's an opportunity that comes up. And I feel like it is a breakthrough energy because it's something, is the Fool card comes flying out. Again, you had this in the last reading too, which is an ending of an old cycle, beginning of a new adventure. And I do feel like this is something that you wouldn't have gone for before because you were um, not as confident in who you are as you are now. And so with this Three of Wands, there is this opportunity that opens up, and I feel like it's more work related. And you're like, oh, wow, there's this opportunity that I can go and do this while I'm studying to become that. And I do feel like there's this opening that comes up here. And before you'd have been like, well, no, I'll just wait. Now you're like, I'm going. And sometimes that happens too. When we have an uncomfortable situation arise, like a very strict, very rude, threatening person, sometimes that is a kind of an angel in disguise that is making things so uncomfortable that my fears were outweighed the uncomfortability of like moving to a new position, right? My fear of going to a new area is that outweighs this my uncomfortable feeling. It's like it's not so bad, I'll stay here. But when that uncomfortableness of a rude, strict, threatening person outweighs my fears, that's when I could take action more easily. So sometimes that kind of stuff happens too. So you never know. Let's see what we can know more about this direction here. Yeah, the Four of Wands, it is something that brings you joy. Um, and the Eight of Cups, yeah, walking away from emotions and relationships that don't serve you anymore. And the Nine of Cups, yeah, something more of a dream come true energy. So I do feel like there is this opportunity that opens up here, and it's a great blessing for you. Um, Timing, let's see what this other card is here. Yeah, we got this. Here's that courage and strength card energy coming in here, which is having the courage to step forward into a new opportunity. And even on the bottom of the deck, you have the Four of Cups, which is bored out of my mind and ready for this um, new experience to come in here too. So I do feel like here this is more like career, job, work oriented than it is, like those, like relationship or something like that. But there is this breakthrough because I feel like you will step forward in this because you're just like, I can stay here and face that, or I can go to this new department or new position. Even I don't feel like it's a new company. I feel like it's still within the same company right now. But it's like, yeah, I have this opportunity. Yeah, you have the Six of Cups. October 23rd to November 21st. Yeah, and I feel like it's here in the next couple of weeks that this comes up. And Six of Cups is kind of an energy too of like returning back to something or going back to an old area or position. I don't feel like it's position. It feels like an old area or different part of the business that you might have been at before, or a different company you might have been at before. But you're going back not in the same role, you're going back in something different. So I feel like that's that blessing in this, something you wouldn't have done before. And that's why it's considered a breakthrough as well. That's what your fortune cookie brings in here. Yep, you got divinity. It's a beautiful card because it says every moment is filled with divinity. Cherish it. And I like that. It's remembering who we really are and remembering that our lives are full of the divine because we are made from the divine. And the whole reason we're having this earthly experience is to understand ourselves more, like this um, tapestry back here. We're these beautiful beings of light, and we experience the shadow, the lower vibration of this planet, to see this beautiful design in the middle of who we really are. And the more we experience it, and then all of these wouldn't be here without shadow, black ink. So I love this. awareness coming in here for you. So hopefully that resonates. That's what they have for you, Sudeshna. So thank you again for your multiple donations. And of course, as I mentioned, if you didn't catch it in the beginning, um, or as a reminder, since we're hitting the end of these readings, you won that 15-minute personal recorded reading. I did reply to you because you sent me a note. So if you didn't get my email, check your junk mail. I replied back either the same day or the next morning. So there you go. So many blessings to you. I believe that is all of the donations. So let's grab the free readings and we will dive into those. So we've got Moncloas, we have Swaroop Bobby, we have Ateshi Singh, and we have the last chapter known as Minu. Touch of Love. I got yours. Ashish. We got yours. We have Patricia's. Got yours there. Okay, we did those already. Okay. Okay, we did those already. Boom, boom, boom. And then there's Maria P for your general. Okay, so I had those. Just make sure I didn't skip anyone. And I'm just going to gather them all here first. And then Livier, we've got yours here. Okay, whoops. There we go. Okay. And Cat Goddess. Okay, we did those. And then Brenda Globy. Brenda. Footwork, I don't. Did yours, did you put a question earlier? I don't think I saw yours here. Let me look. Be easy, just look for a giant V emoji there. Uh, I don't see a question in the chat from you, but if you put yours there, then that's where yours will be. When you're like, "Where's mine?" Oh, okay, here's yours. Here's your, coming in here, right? Because that's you, Valerie, right? I remember now that yours says footwork in there. Well, I don't. Your donation just came through on the chat here, and then you want a general. All right, very good. Yeah, so that's it. Could be, of course, YouTube can be a little odd sometimes. So I see it now. So you will be up next. So free readings I gathered free readings at least. So we'll go on to those after Valerie. So thank you, Valerie, so much for your donation. And let's put your timestamp in here. And see what Spirit has here for you. There we go. And we'll give that a love and a like since it lets me. Good to see you. All right. So a general. Let's see what Spirit is bringing in here for you. Oh, you were being funny. Okay. Where is it? I like it. Humor is welcomed always. All right, let's take a look here, Valerie. So what does Spirit want you to know right now? Well, you got 3, 2, 1, 3 cards, 2 cards, 1 card. So there is something that is counting down here. We'll see what this is heading towards here. Whoa. Oh, yeah. 3, 2, 1 and a tower moment. But it's a good thing. always, the bottom energy, you do have the tower, and it's funny underneath that. Ah, okay. Yeah, you're yeah, you're like, "You're next." 'Cause you have the Ace of Swords underneath that, which is a new beginning energy, new clarity, new mindsets, new knowledge coming in. But the Tower card is, especially your 3, 2, 1, and then it brings something here. But it's a good energy because when the Tower card appears in our life, it is an energy of like, um it clears some situation or person or relationship, something out of our lives to make space. It's like an old condemned tower that has rats and the roof leaks and the gas leaks and there's no plumbing and the floors are falling apart and I mean it's condemned and but the lightning bolt comes and strikes it down and burns it down. So, there's this energy that it then creates the space for something beautiful to replace it because we're insured. We have great insurance with the universe that it replaces it with something brand new and up to date. It's always an upgrade that it gets replaced with. So we're like, if we know that while something's being removed, then we can be like, oh, thank you. Because I know something even more amazing is going to be coming for us as long as you're not fired. Well, we'll see what this is. Regardless of what it is for you, and it's going to create the space for something even grander. So, um, if and I don't feel like it is, but let's say if it was you get fired, it means that a position that you wouldn't even be looking for at a different company that's even better and more money and something that's more joyful and people that you really love to work with opens up that you wouldn't have noticed had you been still stuck in the other one. It's like when you are set free here, you get to, have this like, whoa kind of experience. So it's always an upgrade, right? But let's see what it is. Let's see what this countdown is. The three cards here. Yeah, you have the 10 of Cups, along with the Six of Swords and the King of Swords. There seems to be here this is the focus in on this feels relationship-ish like energy. Doesn't have to be romantic, but it's dealing with someone. The King of Swords, it's someone that's very not mental, but, very much in their head or intelligent. They can communicate, but they're more logic, air signy kind of energy, not speak you'd ask them what they think about something, not how they feel about something, because 'cause they'd be like it's like asking a Vulcan, like Mr. Spock, "How do you feel about this?" They're like, "What? Does not compute, that's illogical." That's the kind of energy here. But I do feel like with the Six of Swords, there is a change. It's leaving old ways of thinking behind around this person, moves you in a different direction where it's these are like opposites. It's like we're moving from something so in the mind, the opposite of you, right? Yeah, the 10 of Cups. This joy full of emotion, um, and, being with someone who's so in their head, it's like we speak different languages. Um, I I want to know how you feel, and I wanna be able to have someone that can communicate with me from the heart. And so whatever this is, it feels like, someone being removed out of your life to create the space for someone that would be able to, you know, communicate in that way with you. Like a king of cups who's balanced between head and heart, not just so much in their head they don't know what an emotion is, right? So I feel like that's where the tower is coming from is focusing on is this relationship. I don't know if this resonates with who this is, but it's like, yeah, I'd like to be with someone like me, not, someone that I'm like, why do I constantly feel like I have oh, okay, good. Like I have um no one that can um communicate with me like I do here. So I do feel like well, was there someone before you? You don't have someone now. I wonder if that tower was them being removed a while ago. This other person, this King of Swords, because that could been what was creating the space. Because here's the two here. I got okay, yeah. Because this you're wanting someone with the Two of Cups that is like the Six of Pentacles, someone who we can give and receive, not I'm the giver and you're the receiver all the time, right? You're wanting, I want to be able to give, but I also want to be able to receive. And it's walking hand in hand. And here's the Two of Cups energy. So this does definitely feel like it's relationship oriented here that's coming in. Yeah, and the Knight of Swords. This is movement of communication and the quest of seeing someone who can see things from both perspectives and clarity that comes in here. Um, is anything else with this? And this, it's just this. It's about freedom here coming in, and I like this because I feel like what we learned through this is I don't have to sacrifice my heart for a supposed to be, a should be, a need to be, a have to be, and these mindsets. And like I can get out of my mind and sit in my heart, but I can also balance my heart with higher thinking, seeing things from a higher perspective. Just like someone who's a big thinker, if they can be balanced with the heart, then there's this kind of like a connector between the two of us. Instead of me being all heart and someone else being all mind, I can be heart with a balance of mind. They can be mind with a balance of heart. And then we can have this commonality in this communication, right? So it's not all or nothing. It's like I can move toward the middle, but I need someone else that's willing to come to the middle as well. So I like this for you coming in here. Yeah, you have this death and this rebirth. The overall energy is that this needed to happen. We needed the balance of the justice, which is actually Libra energy, which rolls over the eighth house of relationships. Eighth house? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I think it's the eighth house. Maybe it's the seventh house. No, it's the eighth house, right? Because you do 4, and then we have Leo, Virgo. No, it's the seventh house, Libra, and then Scorpio. So it's the seventh house of relationships. It doesn't matter. It's the house of relationships. That's the most important thing. The number doesn't matter. So you get out of the head and get to the heart of it. But there is this rebirth that was required so that you could have this balance that comes in relationship. Under the surface, yeah, we get the Leo strength card energy here, and this is the courage, the inner strength. And I do feel like, you know, the period that you've had since I feel like this King of Swords Tower moment where this other person was removed out of your life for you is for you to question and your thoughts and beliefs and mindsets and to step into this place where you deserve to have someone and that you don't have to sacrifice everything for someone else and that you can give this love and this giving to yourself and that you are worthy to receive from someone else as well. So I do feel like this is headed towards you. I'm going to just do a quick when card here. Uh, well, which we get the Queen of Swords, which is the balance between head and heart. And we've got 3 different dates here that come up, which are all the air sign, which is funny. I don't like that because the King of Swords, they roll over the sword suit with the queen, but the king gets a second portion of air. That's why they're 2 parts thinking. But the Queen of Swords rolls over the sword suit, but behind the scenes, she has the Queen of Cups. I mean, the Cups, which is the balance between head and heart, what we were talking about. So the next upcoming one is January 20th to February 18th, which would be Aquarius season. And then, of course, we have Libra season, which is May 21st to June 20th. And we just came out of Libra season, which is September 23rd to October 22nd. So um, I feel like this person might have come in during Libra season. You might have bumped into them, which would have been from September 23rd to October 22nd. But I feel a reconnection happens next year. Valentine's Day falls in between January 20th and February 18th. But so I feel like that's when things really change. So you could have met them recently and you might get to know them between now and then. But I feel like based on current energies, that January 20th to February 18th is where it's coming in there as far as like progressing into maybe a relationship. Let's see what your fortune cookie brings in here as well. Yeah, we got this abundance feeling energy that's coming in here, which is abundance comes from inner fulfillment and outer effort. So there you go. It starts inward and it makes its way outward here as well. All right. You didn't meet anyone? All right. So I said possibly. So that's where we're at right now. So hopefully that helps, Valerie. That is what they have for you, my dear. Thank you for your donation. I greatly appreciate that. And enjoy your adventures. All righty. So let me switch these off here. We'll go to this stack next here. All right. So let us jump into the free readings. Let's say, think ahead. Yep, Trampzilla. You put your free question out there. Let's put that into the list here as well. There we go. And I think that was everyone's. Yeah, because there's Brenda. Boom, 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 boom. All right. So we will start off here. We have Moncloa at 224 even. All right. And you want to know, when will KW reach out to you? All right, we'll pull here from the Learning Tarot, which has dates on it. So based on current energies, when will KW reach out to you? Thank you. Okay. So you've got the 8 of Swords here. 8 of Swords is movement of the communication suit of Swords. So there is movement that comes in here. It says May 16th to July 28th. That just feels like a way far time off. That is too far away. So we'll remove the months here. And we're focusing in on the dates between the 16th and the 28th. It does feel November feels right here, that they will reach out. I feel like there is this period of time, this waiting between now and then is because we're letting go of some mindsets, both we are and they are. There's this reflection period that's happening right here. But I do feel like you will hear from them between November 16th and November 28th coming in. But there is this needing to clear my beliefs and gain some inner clarity. And then I'm ready to communicate. And your pausing period, the 16th is only 8 days, right? But I know sometimes 8 days, oh my God, that's so far away. But there's this gives me time to reflect on myself as well. My mindsets and thoughts and beliefs that make me feel blinded and bound and trapped and restricted. Take a look at my fears. And sometimes when we have these periods of time, these things that pop up of what if they never call me or contact me? What if this? What if that? We can look at what if and look at those fears to release ourselves from them too. So that's what they have for you, Moncloa. So many blessings to you. All right. Swaroop Bobby, you are up. Here is your timestamp. And coming week regarding, please, what's coming towards you? All right. So, what's coming towards you this next week? Thank you. All right. So, you've got three cards. You've got the Judgment card, which is the card of your higher self calling you and pulling you in this direction. Something more in alignment with where your heart wants to go. And you have the Knight of Pentacles. It's the slowest moving night, but this energy is the quest of your self-worth, because you also have the Seven of Wands, which is an energy of being true to your authentic self and standing bright and standing tall and not feeling like you have to defend yourself or dim your light. But and I feel like there's been this time that you're learning and seeing yourself from a different perspective. So I feel this week is a week of realizing more of who you are and what you do want by reflecting quite a bit on what you've experienced and who you don't want to be and what you don't want in your life. This is a bit of a contrast where it's almost like a taste test going through a buffet is what I'm seeing. And excuse me, there's you put some stuff on your plate and you're like, "Ooh, I don't want any of that. Okay, let me try this." Or even Baskin Robbins, where they have all those ice creams and they give you a little wooden stick and you want to try this and you taste it and you're like, "What?" You throw that away and they're like, "How about this?" And you're like, "Meh." And then they give you something and you're like, "Oh my God, that's the one. I want a gallon of that ice cream." So I feel like that's the kind of energy that's coming in right now is you've been learning a lot and you're coming slowly to some determinations. I don't feel like decisions are made next week, but you definitely feel this draw and this uneasiness of I don't want to be where I am right now. Where is it that I want to go? Kind of energy. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what they have for you, Swaroop. So many blessings to you. Something more from your heart, not from your head, is where you're being drawn. Your passion, your heart is drawing you, not your mind trying to keep you caged, but you're like wanting to break free kind of energy. All right. So Ateshi, you are up next here. Let's grab your timestamp here if I can type correctly here. It's going all over the place. There we go. So here's your timestamp. And you want to know how will your meeting on Monday go? You're presenting a plan to some higher ups. All right. So based on current energies, how will the meeting go? All right. Yep. You definitely have possibilities here with the Four of Pentacles, a solid performance that's there. And the Lover's card is about emotional choice. And it's not so much about what you're doing, but the emotion and the energy that you are having behind it, right? So if you go in with anxiety and fear, and then that's the kind of lower vibrational results you get. If you go in going, you know what? I'm so grateful, being an energy of gratitude, of love, of joy, of humor, of play. Go in excited and, not super serious about chuk, 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 chuk. I feel if you go in expressing higher vibration emotion, then that's what you get. That comes in here. I feel like it's solid, but you can add the extra spice to it, add the whipped topping and the cherry on top through your emotions, through your emotional choices that come in there. So it's like it can be information and that's it. But you can also, and it's all about your intention of your emotional energy is what controls that. So hopefully that makes sense. Looks good though. So that's what they have for you. Many blessings. I feel like, also just add real quick there, Teshi, that you can't control other people's emotions either. That's something that comes in that they wanted to add with the Lover's card is that you can make it easier or harder for people to choose a low vibration or higher vibration emotion, but you can't choose for them. So let go of the control over something you can't control because otherwise you feel out of control. Come back to what you can control, which is my choice of story, of emotion, of energy and action. No one else's. Go in and enjoy it. Then other people, it makes it easier for other people to enjoy it. If you go in stressed, it's going to be more difficult for people because they're going to be picking up on stress energy, which could trigger their stress energy. Um, through that experience too. So all about what energy are you putting forward? You know, go in there, pushing out love energy, right? And then see the difference. All right. So that's what they have for you. And many blessings. All right. Last chapter or Minu, you are up. All right. There is your timestamp. I want to know what comes next in your life. Let's take a look here. Based on current energies, what does Spirit want you to know about what's coming next here? What else? All right. You have the moon card that came out first, which is the hidden and unknown, something that's going to be rising to the surface here. The Eight of Pentacles is the card of school and work. Um, and so I feel this can be geared more towards your job and work kind of area. It doesn't have to be though, but the Eight of Pentacles is like when you put in the blood, the sweat, the tears, you put in the work, you get the reward that comes in, and it is like the cycles. You know, you plant, you take care of it, you water it, it gets sunlight, it grows, the fruit comes, right? Well, this hidden and unseen comes forward, and I feel like it bubbles to the surface. And you're like, oh, wow. So I feel like what's coming next in your life here is a lot of fruition of things that you have been putting energy like into and it's it's like you've been a caterpillar in a cocoon and you've been doing all this transformation. Now you're getting out of the cocoon and you're going to be like, oh, wow, look at my wings. And they dried. And now what's next is your wings dry. And then you're able to head off in a direction. You're going to be drawn like a caterpillar is drawn to eat leaves. A butterfly is drawn to seek nectar from blossoms of flowers. They're able, instead of crawling along the forest floor like a caterpillar, you're able to migrate like 1,000 miles. You know, they have the monarch, I think it's the monarch butterflies. They have this annual migration where they all fly from the south to the north, and then winter, they all start heading back and go, oh, too cold, and head that direction. So I feel like that's what's next is all this that you've been working on and working toward. You're starting to see your desires have changed. You're able to do and go places. You don't desire the old things that you want, that you're moving into new things. The old just doesn't feel like it fits you anymore, whether it's certain friendships or relationship or job or where you live, what you're doing. It just doesn't fit for you anymore. Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Been fighting that and it finally came up. I must not be breathing deep enough. So I like it. I like it. Are you tired? Is that why I yawned during your your reading? You're like, it's time. All right. So that's what they have for you, Minu. Hopefully that helps. Many blessings to you. Right. Toucho love. You are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. And you want to know what Spirit has for you today. Let's take a look here. What does Spirit have for you today? All right, take a quick sip here. Got a big child energy coming in because you got the 10 of cups, which is the like filling of the outside world, but there's children in it. And the 6 of cups is also child energy. There's energy of legacy and past life energy that so it's like the past lives and then there's the legacy of the future. And this is the fulling. It's almost like the dash in between birth and death. What's the dash in between? What is this fulfillment of life coming in here? What do you remember from your childhood dreams and what you want to achieve before before you leave this planet? And what's the legacy you want to leave behind? It's like there's this energy of get out of your head of all the supposed to be, the should be, the need to be, and really get into this energy. One, you have tons of lifetimes. When you look at the 6 of cups, it's like these are all different lifetimes that you've lived, not just in this lifetime, evolving from the child to the adult, but all of these are different lifetimes. And you've, of course, have had many, 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 many more than that too. But there is this, um, energy of realizing you're an eternal being with many, 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 many different lifetimes that you have to experience yet, and many that you already have. But what's the rush? And what is in this lifetime? What's the one thing that you want to do? What's the one thing you want to leave behind as a legacy for other people? And it's not pressure. It's not, so I have to try to live up to something. This is how do I uniquely want to express the joy in my heart with the world in my own special, unique way? Because there is no pressure. When you realize you're an eternal being, and it's like, in the olden days when you used to have quarters to play a video game, each game mattered so much because that was another quarter gun, and you only had so many quarters that were given to you to be able to play. But then when you get a video game and you can hit reset and play it as many times as you want, there's no limit to it. Unlimited lifetimes, you're like, what's the rush? What's the pressure? Let me go and enjoy the game instead of having so much pressure over it. So I feel like that's the big message for today for you. So hopefully that makes sense. Touch of love. Many blessings to you. All right. All right. Ashish, you are up. Let's grab your timestamp here. And you want to know, why are you not successful in love? Because I've only had disappointment, never had a serious relationship before. All right. Let's take a look here. I do have a podcast series, The Easier Path, which the playlist is in the description box of the video. Or if you click on my name, it takes you to my main page. There's a playlist there for my podcast, which we talk about a lot about relationships in these first 3 sessions. So if you're interested, um, those are all free if you want to check those out. But let's see here what Spirit wants you to know here. Why have you not been able to have a successful relationship? So we have the Emperor energy here with the 7 of Swords. Yeah. The 7 of Swords, that represents my thoughts and beliefs and mindsets that cheat me out of opportunities, right? And the Emperor is an energy of, it's Aries energy, but it's like having a throne room full of people telling you who you're supposed to be, what a relationship is supposed to be like, and you got 1,000 different opinions about how a relationship is supposed to form and who they're supposed to be and who they're supposed to be in the relationship and who you're supposed to be in the relationship, what the relationship is supposed to give to you, how it's supposed to end up, and who you're supposed to be. And that's where disappointment comes from, right? You might hear me say quite often, expectations equal disappointment. When we expect something to be something, like, all the roles and all that stuff that we're talking about, we end up focusing on what's not happening in a relationship instead of celebrating and grateful for what is. And when I'm focusing on my energy with what isn't happening, what my energy is telling the universe, I want more of that, more of the lack, more of the not what's happening. When I'm focusing on what I love about someone and what is happening in a relationship, it grows and expands. So our energy controls so much about what comes into our life. So, you know, and that's where I feel like I've never been successful in love. Well, you've been 100% successful in experiencing what you've wanted to experience. But in your mind, with your expectations, that's why you have this list of a successful relationship means this and 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 this. It goes on and on because that's what we're all given growing up. This long list of what a successful relationship is. We spend all our time focusing on not what was successful in the relationship, we focus on what was not. So I encourage you here, and it's an interesting thing to do, is look at your relationships and go, what was successful in those relationships? What did you love about each of those relationships? Just one thing, even if that's what you can find. Um, Even if it's like, well, I was glad that um, I was able, to hold someone's hand for a moment. You can be grateful for that. If that's the only thing that came out of that relationship, but it's like focusing on what are the things I loved and I thought were successful in each of those relationships. When you focus your energy on that, then you draw in stuff that matches that. But if I'm focusing on, well, that didn't happen and that didn't happen, and well, that didn't happen and that didn't happen and that blah, 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 what do I get? More of that. Right. So I feel like it's important release that happens here in this awareness of, oh, it's my definitions and expectations around relationships that suck the life out of them. It's my focusing on the lack of success that gives me more lack of success. If I focus on my successes, even the little ones, it's all the little ones that make big ones that draw things in. But our focus is what creates or destroys things, right? It builds up or tears down things. And so we start here. We start here. This noodle is the destroyer of things, right? So hopefully that makes sense, Ashish. That's what they have. So many blessings to you. Right to Patricia, you are up. Look at you at 243.43. Weekly message regarding energy and what is heading towards you. All right. So let's see. What's the overall energy for the week? Thank you. And what is headed towards you is this one. All right. So the energy of the week. Ooh, Page of Swords. New thinking, new clarity. Seeing things from a different perspective, even ideas with all those light bulbs, new ideas coming in, new information coming in. So it is a lot of mental energy with the sword suit is of the week, but it is about newness, seeing things from this higher place that comes in here. What is heading towards you? Dun dun! 2 times, double clarity. You got both, that's what I love about using cards. I haven't had anyone come up with the 2 that were exactly the same for a while, but I love this for you because it just really reinforces this energy of seeing things from 2 sides, right? Um, Looking at things from both sides, um, that my power of story is so huge here with the Page of Swords that I've been told that when this happens, this is what it's supposed to mean, the story to it. But does it? No, that's an opinion. That's a suggestion. Thank you for those. And we took them on as well. This is the truth, the small t truth rooted in fear, that this is the way I have to believe around that. Do we, though? Like you get fired from a job, it means you're a failure. That's one suggestion, but I offer another one, which is being removed from position allows me to move into something that's more aligned with who I am. It's a toxic relationship that has ended kind of energy, right? So I like it. It's switching of stories, realizing that my story is what influences my life and what I draw in. If I keep my story or have a story of smallness and failure and fears and that lower vibration, then I end up having things that match that. Same thing, difference if I see things differently, have a different story, my life begins to match my new story instead of matching my old one. That's how powerful we are. So hopefully that helps, Patricia. That's what I feel is coming towards you right now. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Maria P., you are up for your free reading. Thank you for your dual donations earlier. And let's just put this as free so we can see that. There we go. And you like a general for you and Wally. Let's take a look here. Okay. Yeah, I love it. Kind of is just like a reinforcement because you do have the death card, which is the death and the rebirth, right? Rising from the dead, and the Queen of Wands. It's even like she's going, "We're rising from the dead" in the picture there. But the Queen of Wands, and this is one of the cards you got in your reading they're bringing back here, that, your energy is what, impacts your rebirth, that and you can even see that how when you changed your energy towards the relationship, look how much the relationship changed. When your energy changed away from the relationship, look how much it changed. And now that you're back, look how much it's changed. And you're realizing, whoa, my energetic choices of story and emotion and my actions and my overall essence that I put towards something, it changes stuff, whether it's with my children or my job or my lover or whatever it may be, family, friends, whatever. When you change your energy, it automatically starts changing your perception and what you're drawing in and how you're experiencing the outside world. So remember, you are powerful. And the more you're aware of where you're investing your energy in each moment of each day, the more you feel empowered in your life instead of feeling like you're at the whim. It's in my playlist of my easier path. It's called Walking Consciously. It's a channeling that I did with my higher self. I'll do automatic writing and channeling. I read what came through a few days before I recorded it and put it out there. But because if I'm walking consciously of what I'm choosing, wow, what a difference it makes. If I'm walking unconsciously and just going through the steps, my subconscious, my unconscious is making decisions of what it's drawing towards me. Those are the emotions of a 7-year-old and younger, the mental beliefs of a 7 to 14-year-old. Those are not the most aligning things about what we're wanting now. Maybe back then when we were those ages, those things were what we wanted, but not now. And they're reacting from things, not choosing and responding to things in life. So I feel like that's an important energy for you right now. Hopefully that makes sense. That's what they got for you, my dear. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Livier Vagara, you are up next. Let's grab your timestamp here. And you want to whatever the cards want you to know for this upcoming week. A little alarm. Zzz, zzz, zzz. Let's take a look here. What the spirit wants you to know this week? Good. We're just going to switch off here. There's another stack here. All right, that's a lot of cards. All right. So for Olivier, what do you want to know? What do they want you to know this week? Okay. Yeah. So there's a great amount of possibility here with the 5 of Wands. You have the Wheel of Fortune, which is an energy of, you know, the tune of for you, right? And I like the 5 of Wands as a change of energy from something that feels like drama to something that feels like for me. And the Wheel of Fortune is that tune of for me, the for tune. So there is this change, this movement that happens this week, that's possible here. And that is trying to look at as many things. And it's like almost like for this week is what what is the gift in this for me? Anything that comes up, what is the gift for this for me? What is the gift in this for me? What gift is in the situation, this person, or whatever. So whatever you're having happen throughout the week, what gift is in this for me? Even ask, why did I want this to happen for me? Not to me. To me is the victim that we talked about, right? This is the for me. Why did I want this to happen for me? Because that puts us in this place of power, right? Why did I want this to happen? Because if I feel like, why is this happening to me and why is this stuff, I'm blaming, I'm feeling the need to blame other things instead of going, I am the creator of my life with the creator. They're my co-creator. They're not even like, well, they're the one creating and I'm the one that's helping them. It's like, no, we're the ones driving the bus and they're in the passenger seat. They're like, yeah, what life do you want to create? What do you want to experience? We're on a playground. How do you want to play? Well, how should I play? However you want to. They're very supportive and loving, but this is about you stepping in and choosing that I am the one that's bringing in my life. So why did I want this or them to happen for me? What am I learning about myself? What am I learning from? And I feel like that's this change of energy that just really starts to go in there. I know you know this up here, but there's something different when it drops into here and we know it. Instead of, I know that, but when we know it, it's a different type of energy, if that makes sense. Right. So that's what they have for you, Livy A. So many blessings to you. Good to see you. All right. All right. And Cat Goddess, you are up next. And you'd like to know what advice or guidance that you're meant to hear or know right now from your spirit guides and angels. All right, let's take a look here. What advice or guidance? They don't have any from here. We're going to move to the next stack here. I was like, do we move on? They're like, yes. And I'm like, all right. And then no cards are coming out. So I'm like, yeah, we definitely are moving on to this stack here. Okay, there's one, and there's two. See, boom, boom, right away. All right, your guidance is you have the Four of Cups, ooh, and the Queen of Cups. You know, the Four of Cups is an energy of like stagnation and emotional stagnation, especially. It's like you move and you go to a new level in our emotions. And we get to new places and new levels of emotion by it's conflict, it's growth that happens. Something says, "Look at me," and then we look at it and we're released, and then that allows us. It's like cutting off a sandbag off of the hot air balloon. Look, we go to a higher place, and then we're at that altitude for a while, and we're like she's doing. Well, well, that was fun, but now what? Now what? And here comes this Ace of Cups, and you have both the Ace of Cups and both things here. So this is the usually you'll see like someone bored against a tree and three cups in front, and then from a cloud, the Ace of Cups is being offered. Well, that's why it's kind of represented here. And then here's the Ace of Cups that the Queen of Cups has. Queen of Cups rolls with the emotional suit of cups with with the king, but all queens are given a second portion of cups. So she's the master of emotion. She is the one that understands what emotion is. So I do feel like there is, she's like the high priestess too. She's very empathic, feels everyone's emotions, but dives deep into the emotional energy of who she is to understand why she's feeling a certain way or why did she feel a certain way. So, and I really feel like there is this time of emotional release, emotional understanding, but it's really seated in sitting, being still, allowing emotion to bubble to the surface and go, all right, what do you want to teach me? And then it transforms into higher knowledge, and it again cuts away one of the sandbags and allows your emotional air balloon, hot air balloon, to rise even more. Your love vibration rises up. So I feel like that's important to know that, conflict and things bubbling up in our lives is not wrong. It's not um, a mistake that needs to be fixed. It's an experience to flow through because that's happening on purpose for us to learn and grow through. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what they want you to know right now, Cat Goddess, is that there are no mistakes. It's always on purpose for a purpose. So it's nothing that you need to fix. It's more about approaching it with curiosity and wanting understanding and allowing yourself to feel. So hopefully that makes sense. But that's what they got for you. So many blessings to you. And then Brenda Globy, you are up. Here is your timestamp. And you want to know, has KTH started to see signs about AS? All right, let's take a look here. Has KTH started to see signs about AS? Okay. Excuse me. Why am I yawning? Must be this fall weather. It's this nappy time weather, right? I don't know. KTH. It looks like here we've got the Devil card and the Seven of Wands, very much focused in on their mental energy. Really, this feels very much to themselves here, internal focused here. I don't feel like they have started seeing it yet. It's not too far in the future, though. We have the Eight of Pentacles and the Three of Wands, which is a new direction. And it's like once they turn a corner in their life, then they start to see the signs. Right now, they're really self focused here. And what they're showing me, it's like someone walking on it would be like a, a city street. There's no one else on the sidewalk with them, so it can't be New York City. But there's this energy of like someone's walking, and there's the big sidewalk, and it's brick walls. They're looking at their phone, and they're really just consumed here. They don't see anyone else, and they're walking, and they're about to reach a corner. A corner, right? So can you see they're about to reach a corner, and as they go around, that's when they're oh, because there's someone else on the sidewalk, it catches their attention. That's the signs they start to sense and see then. But I feel like they're very consumed with what's going on in their life right now. So they're not seeing signs because they're, focused on looking at themselves represented by their phone. But when they look up and they're like, oh, there's other things around here besides that. So hopefully that makes sense. That's what they have for you, Brenda. So many blessings to you. All right. And then Trampzilla, you were up at exactly 3 hours even. Can you believe that? And thank you for your donation earlier as well. So for your free question, are you traveling to Europe before January? All right. So based on current energies, will you be traveling to Europe before January? Can you believe January is only what, 7 weeks away? Let's take a look here. So, well, you know, you have the 10 of Cups, but the High Priestess. And if we just got the 10 of cups, that's joy and celebration and yay. But with the high priestess, that is more, she goes into her high priestess temple and has alone time. So I don't feel like you're going to be traveling to Europe before January, but she does see things from a different perspective, connects with spirit, looks behind the veil, understands, and that joy is an expression of joy. So I feel like this is a reflective period where maybe you plan, to go to Europe next year, but you don't during this period here going on. And it makes sense. There's a lot going on in the world. There's a lot of delays and a lot of things coming up as well, but it just feels like it's just too soon. I got I have too much going on. There's too much coming in, but I feel like you'll be planning for next year. So not before January, based on current energies anyway. But um, next year is what I'm feeling with these right now. All right, so that is what they have for you. All right, everybody. Well, we're right at 3 hours. I have no other donations, no other free questions. So we'll shut down this session. I will be back this evening from 6 to 9 p.m., or well, at least starting at 6 p.m. Mountain Time tonight, and then also tomorrow at 11 a.m. Mountain Time. So I shall return. If you guys haven't checked out the giveaway yet, we have a new giveaway coming up on the new moon on November 20th. So if you check out that link, that'll take you to how you can get into that drawing. Also, I have all of my readings on sale and my hedges of peace as well. If you check out that link there, that'll tell you all about that. It's also all listed in the description box of the video. And if you haven't checked out the most recent episode of The Easier Path, here's a link to that one. The playlist is also in the description box at the on my main page. If you go click on Bretta Zen, it'll take you to my main page. It's up at the top, podcast, and you can check those out too. It's all free. I have a new one coming out next Thursday, so be on the lookout for that as well. You're very welcome, Livier. Good to see you. I'm so grateful, everybody. Thanks for the thumbs up, all the love, all the support. Whoops. And until I see you guys again, remember every second of every day of your life that you truly are eternally and unconditionally loved by the mother and the father of all things, our creator. And of course, I love you too. So until I see you again, hang in there. Take care of yourselves. Remember, have some fun. It's a playground. Go play. Enjoy. Laugh as much as you can today. And I'll see you soon. All right, guys. Love you.